Alright, this is the first of 2 or 3, maybe even 4 of my favorite flies. This first one is one that you'll see me use a lot whenever I'm fishing on slack water that you've got rising fish, but they're really picky. Called a CdC Puff Daddy. It's only got 2 materials in it other than your thread. It's dubbing and 1 CdC feather. And all I'm going to do, I've got some possum dubbing here. I'm just going to make a little noodle on this thread. Not much of one. And I'm just going to tie this one in olive. Because frequently when I'm fishing for trout and they're keyed in on little bugs like a blue-winged olive or a small little olive colored mayfly, this would be the pattern that I use. Let's see if that should be enough there. Yeah, make a little tapered body there. Perfect. And then all you do is you take that one little CDC feather, kind of preen it a little bit. Give it a tad there. And then if you want to use hackle pliers, you can here. I just grab a hold of it with the hackle pliers. So I've got you out of the way. See me pull these fibers back. I'll just give it a few turns. You're bringing those longer fibers backwards as I come around. See, I just kind of sweep them back as I come around the body of the fly, so I get a little bit closer here. Not too many turns, but yeah, that's probably good. And you come in and tie that thing off. Let it go. Preen those fibers backwards. Get a few wraps to make sure you're tied in good and tight. And get your hackle, your whip finish tool, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's all there is to it, to that fly. You can put a little head cement on the end of it if you want to. And if you want, you can kind of preen these fibers back towards the butt and then use your fingernails to trim it off so that it'll be a smaller profile. It'll be like so. But when it comes to picky fish that are rising in really still water, that's a tough pattern to beat. Real easy. And you fluff this part up with some frog's fanny after a fish gums it up, and boy does that thing float well. Killer pattern. I love it for wintertime fishing, early spring fishing, late fall. Anytime there's really picky rising fish, they tend to go for that one. This is a nymph that I use frequently. Kind of a variation on a hare's ear. I tie a hare's ear nymph a little bit different than I see most people tie it. They often use the hair, like the guard hairs from the rabbit's ear, to tie in the tail. But I don't do that. I have not found that that makes a big difference. So in order to make this a much quicker tie, what I end up doing instead is using fibers from a pheasant tail to do the tail. So just a few materials in this pattern as well. Obviously you got some thread. I'm doing this on a size 14 hook. I think a 2.4 millimeter bead on it. And all I do whenever I'm tying in the tail for these things is I will grab 6 or 7 pheasant tail fibers, put a loop or 2 loosely on it, and then pull it until I feel like the tail is the length I want it to be, about like so. Then give it a few tight wraps behind it and above it, And then I take this and I wrap this thing all the way up to the front, because I'm going to come back to it later. And this is the part that kind of saves you on some time and materials. But I do that, and then I get well, I thought I had a piece of gold wire out here. I guess I didn't have one handy. So then I just tie in a bit of gold colored ultra wire here. And I'll wrap that all the way back to where my tails are tied in here. Like so. And then get some hare's ear dubbing and make myself a little noodle. Now, the way I do this that saves me a little bit of time is I'll do this first kind of under layer here. You start at the back, work my way all the way to the front, and then I will pull this backwards, wrap it back to the point where I want my thorax to start, about right here, and then I'm going to leave it like that. And then I'm going to wrap my wire here. Let's take you back up. You know, I think I did that wrong actually. Yeah, let me take this off. Yeah, let's wrap this first. Yeah, this will be easier. Do the wire first. And then wrap this up. There we go. Yeah, that's the way I usually do it. Then bring that back to about there. Yeah, that's where I want it to be. And then I just kind of take and twirl that thing till it comes off. Get a little bit more dubbing. Sorry, I've not tied one of these in a while, so I did that out of order. But it still works. Then I'll take that and I'll make myself a little kind of fat belly on the top. A little bit more dubbing. There we go. Fat little belly there. Then I'll tilt this forward. You can see that makes the wing case. Great. I'll take that and chop that off. Tie it off, and then we got a hare's ear nymph. You can take a little Velcro if you want. Take the Velcro and rub the bottom of that so you can make it look gilly or whatever. You can rub the sides if you want to make it real buggy looking with the Velcro, which, you know, looks nice. But that's an easy pattern to tie as well. And that catches a lot of fish. This is another pattern that I use a lot and is really easy to tie. It's just kind of a variation of a rubber leg pattern. All I've got here is a size 8 nymph hook with I think a 3.8 millimeter tungsten bead. And I'm just using 0.02 lead wrap here to add a little weight to the pattern. But I'll tie that thing up and then I'll smush it up into the head there. Wrap this tail around. Perfect. Then I'll take this here and tie that so that it can't go anywhere. Put a few wraps over top. Not real important because we're going to be using chenille. And that's really easy to work with. So then this part, the rest of it only involves two materials. I'll take 2 or 3 silly legs. I like the square kind for whatever reason. I don't know. Everybody has personal preference, I guess. But I've always liked the square-shaped kind. But you can use the round kind, it doesn't matter. You do whatever you want. But what I do here is I'll take one piece about yay long. I'll make a little loop in the middle of it like so. And I'll tie in that loop right here, right at the base of those wraps. And then I'll pull it up so that I know that it's staying on top of my little hook body there, or the hook shank. And I'll take a smallish piece of chenille. I think this is black and brown chenille or coffee. I don't remember what the name of it is, but I'll just tie it in real quick. And I'll bring it about halfway up the body, about right there. And this part's kind of funny, but what I do is I bring up these two pieces and pinch the chenille between those two pieces like that, and then I take this chenille and wrap it over itself like so, to make the body kind of stick out of the back of off of the shank of the hook, so that it kind of makes it look like it's got an extended body there. And then I tug on it a little bit, and it kind of cinches its way down. Of course, this one's not one to do it for me. Let's see here. Put too many there it goes. You see how it kind of cinches its way down, and now it's got this extended body. And then you pinch that tail, wrap it around the shank of the hook once or twice, and then you see that it's got that kind of extended body there. Then what I end up doing is I put one little loop there, another little loop there, and then I kind of store that behind it. Take that other piece of silly leg that you saw me with earlier, the other half of that silly leg, and I just fold it in half just like the other one. Except this time I'll kind of throw 1, 2 loops over it, and then pull it to one side, pull it to the other side. Yeah, just like that. And I'll bring that forward. And I'll take this and I'll do one wrap there, one wrap there to make sure they're facing the right direction, one more wrap there, and then I'll tie it off. This is a messy fly. It's quick and it's easy, but it catches fish, so that's what matters. And then after I've tied that off, I'll snip you, grab that whip finish tool, and then come right over the top and give it 1 or 2 whip finishes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I'll cut that off, and then I'll pull that. And then you can adjust that to the left or the right a little bit if you want to. And you can see it's just a stonefly pattern. So easy to tie these things. You can whip these things out real fast. And you know, if you don't like these tails being that long, you can come in here and trim them if you want. But it's got a lot of length to it. Real easy to tie. And that is a fish catcher.
Well, that's it. 100. Thanks everybody for sticking with me on this trip. I've had a lot of fun, and I'll keep making videos. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and you know, put a comment in the comment section down there. I'll put those flies in the mail and send them to you. And then, you know, make a video of it. Tag me in the video so I can see what you catch with it. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Thanks for subscribing. I'll keep making videos. You keep watching them. Have a good day.